friends all know that I'm cool. I've been this way since high school. Cause life's never been sweeter when you're just a cake eater. When it comes to hockey, nobody can stop me. My high school team, I was playing on the top 3.
Welcome to this year's YHH High School Hockey Podcast, brought to you by the Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine Center. I am Danny Ryan. Joined with me is Tony Scott from the Youth Hockey Hub and Carl East from the Forum.
How you doing, Carl? How's the weather up in Duluth?
Doing well. I'm glad to be out here. And just so our listeners know from last year, I have moved to Duluth since last year, so I'll be calling in every week from Duluth for the podcast.
I can't wait to get some northern exposure to our show, our true northern exposure, as opposed to just checking the box scores every day in Twitter feeds. It's going to be great to have eyes on the north.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it snowing yet, Carl?
Getting out here. What?
Is it snowing yet?
No, it's like actually 70 degrees here. It's kind of ridiculous.
I know, it's incredible. We'll just take it while we can. All right, Danny, let's get into before we talk about the season, let's talk about what happened during the off-season that are important leading into the season here for high school hockey.
Well, everything's always important when we talk about players that leave. So let's go through a list of players that are no longer with us, kind of like an in memoriam section.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So starting off, Two Hill Murray? Yeah, I can't pronounce already. Two Hill Murray kids are no longer with Hill. So Marco Reifenberger and Dylan Mills. So this is big loss to Hill Murray, to say the least.
To a team that wasn't going to beat Stillwater anyway. So that's a very big loss.
Yep. And then you talk about probably the biggest loss next to that for a team would be Hibbing losing Scotty Perunovich and Ryan Euland.
Yeah, it's the death blow to Hibbing hockey. Their chances this year to make it to state.
I think that game kind of knocked off of Carl's schedule where he's not going to see Hibbing anymore.
Yeah.
But there's another pair that's just. Go ahead, Carl. What you say?
I was planning to go up and see all these Hibbing games this year, but well, I'll probably still make one or two. But some of the luster went away there when Perunovich and Euland left.
Yeah, there's another big pair that's missing as well, and I think it's Copeland and Phillips from Edina. Edina would have been one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the state. According to some guy at the Hub, they were the number 1 team coming back. Obviously, he didn't know his stuff, but I think losing Copeland and Phillips is a big blow to Edina's chances to make it to the state this year.
Well, those aren't the only players that Edina lost, right, Carl?
Yeah, they had some transfers out, too. They lost Hankinson and Tabor to Holy Family.
Those are key losses. Those are non-Division I commits, but they are huge losses to their depth and their quality of play. I mean, Peter Tabor's a starter right now for Waterloo, and he'll be returning back. I've learned that he will be returning back to Holy Family, so no worries for you Holy Family Fire fans. He will be back in school.
And he's a good player. He adds strength to their defense and size.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
To an already pretty decent decor. But
that's probably the best decor in the state, without a doubt.
Yeah.
If you figure those top 4, Maroney, Zemer, Anderson, and Tabor, it's pretty hard to defeat that.
That's a good
awesome.
With the best goaltending in this.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting too
Well, yeah,
far.
we're already way ahead.
Okay, talk about good goaltending that left. Ryan Bischel of Benilde St. Margaret's left and took Connor Mayer with him. So
that's another pair.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So. Bye, Benilde. They'll have some rebuilding this year, but they'll be good. They will. There's no doubt they'll be good.
But they're not an undefeated team like they were last year, but hopefully they can go farther in their section than they did last year.
Wow. That's the first dig. That's the first dig. Danny, you own the first dig of the year.
Okay. Then another good defenseman that we saw in the tournament, Brendan Bushy for Thief River Falls. I really like this kid's performance in the tournament. He is gone. Keandre Miller for Minnetonka, Wisconsin commit, is gone, but Minnetonka, I think, will be just fine without him this year.
Minnetonka lost another player. Don Picciano is now transferred to St. Paul Academy.
Oh, that's a big win for St. Paul Academy.
Oh yeah, huge win. That takes them from a maybe going to state to a top 5 team in the state, I think.
Yep.
Top 5, I think. Yeah, exactly. One of our favorite players of last year, Hank Sorensen, is gone. R.I.P. Hank. We'll miss you. And then Isaac Johnson of Anoka fame, who brought Anoka to the tournament last year. He is gone.
Des Moines.
Keegan Karki is gone from
National Development Program from St. Cloud Cathedral.
Going to North Dakota. He is gone. Trevor Janicki going to Notre Dame is gone from Maple Grove. That really
National Development Program. I'm still holding out hope that Trevor will return for his senior year high school hockey, but I don't think it's going to happen because he's a sophomore right now. He has 2 years of national. He technically could come back, and that crop of talent in Maple Grove would be an amazing crop and probably one of the best teams in the state if Trevor would return. I doubt it. I bet he's going to the USHL, but you never know. You never know. And his little brother, Justin, will be a freshman or a sophomore at the time.
That's a 2-year team.
Could be tasty. Could be tasty.
Okay, so Trevor is gone. And then the leading scorer of the high school league last year, Jackson Nelson of Laverne, is gone as well, playing in Sioux Falls.
Who declined an offer from the National Development Program and stayed home and to play for Sioux Falls.
Which is kind of what we predicted anyways on that.
It was very likely, yes.
Now, Carl, am I missing anybody? I think we got the heaviest of hitters there, right?
There's some others out there that are playing in the NA. There's some other players out there that won't be back this year for high school hockey. I think one of the biggest losses is Hank Sorensen. I mean, the defending state champs. I mean, Hank is Hank, but at the end of the day, he won hockey games for them last year when it mattered. So as much as you want to say about his personality and everything that he brought to the table, both positive and negative, when push came to shove, they won mostly because of Hank.
He reminds me of Pete Rose. Right, Carl?
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah. You don't want to play against...
You never want to play against him. I agree. All right, so are we about to announce our talk a little top tens for both AA and A?
So at this portion, Tony, my top tens are never as good as your top tens, and your top tens don't compare to
Carl's top tens. That's right. No matter what, right? I like that. So I don't think Carl's put together a Class A one. So let's start with your AA, and I'll go with my standing A ones out there. Carl, you want to rip them off, and I'll of course.
Yeah, we'll debate.
We'll chime in
Carl's rankings as we always do.
I'll just go down the list. There's a sneak preview of my top 10. They'll be published again probably next week, but here we go. Okay, number 1, Eden Prairie.
No argument there.
Just right there.
Do they have a good player coming back?
We'll get to that later.
Middlestat, may have heard of them?
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2.
This is where we're going to be off. What'd you say?
Yep.
Number 2.
Stillwater.
Oh, Jesus, we agree.
Okay.
I like that one.
That's pretty bold though, Carl. I mean, there's cupcake schedule really behooves them not moving anywhere, I guess.
That's right.
Got a little better this year, but still, yeah.
Okay, who's number 3?
Number 3, stick with Wayzata.
Ooh.
Okay,
wow.
Why? Give us a reason.
Well, when I saw them play over the summer, I thought they looked really good. I thought they were still like machine-like Wayzata. They still could be rolling 4 good lines. They won't have as much scoring depth, but still a couple good players.
And they had scoring depth last year? I'm still trying to go looking back. They didn't have scoring depth.
Yeah. Carl, this is a team that traditionally does not have.
Everyone scored,
Well, okay, everybody scored a goal, but, that was kind of where their points capped, I want to say, right?
Yeah, Colin Schmidt, they're juniors. Colin Schmidt and Griffin Ness. Griff's had a great elite league. Colin Schmidt's just a big body. I think they'll have plenty of scoring, and they're going to be great on defense. I think that I agree. Number 3 seems a little high considering what's on the table in Section 7 AA. It's hard.
Who's their goaltender again?
It'd be Reed Wasenko. He's a senior
play.
this year. He's good. He's a real good goaltender. I don't know if he's as good as Alex Schilling, but I think, long term, I think he's going to be a good answer for Lake Conference this year. He could be the best goalie in the Lake Conference. So think about that. So,
okay. I agree to disagree with this. Why is that up that high? But what's number 4, Carl?
Number 4, Elk River.
That's what I got. Now, where's Grand Rapids?
Yeah,
I like that one. We agree at Elk River at number 4. That makes them the number 1 section seed in Carl's section seeding poll, which is interesting.
Yep.
He does this on purpose because of ease.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
I'd laugh at that. Go ahead.
What's Elk River returning, Carl? That's
Oh my gosh.
putting you up there so high.
Basically everyone. I mean, they basically lost like 2 players who played regularly last year.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing team. I think they play with a lot of grit and so much skill. I mean, 10 through 12th grade in Elk River is really, really solid.
Do they have the
Also have a new coaching staff, which I think is a good, taking of the guard there. That probably helps.
Because Gordy's not coaching anymore.
No, Gordy's an assistant coach in Maple Grove.
Okay. Do they have the talent, Carl, do you think, to make it through Section 7 right now?
Yeah. There's a reason I'm putting them ahead of Grand Rapids. I think that.
Okay.
No doubt about
They
it.
may not have the fun and talented Grand Rapids, but they're the deepest team in the section, and they're experienced. So I think they know what they're doing.
I think that Elk River at some point during the season will be number 1 in the state.
Okay.
I will make that. That's not my bold prediction, but that's one of my bolder predictions. I think they're that solid. I have them at number 4, but I have Grand Rapids at number 3. I just think they have the intangibles. Keep going. I'm hoping to hear Grand Rapids eventually here.
What's number 5?
Number 5.
Grand Rapids. Yeah. Okay.
Well, this is great
The reason
because
I have them a little lower than you guys is just because I just don't see much depth there.
no, I don't either. I mean, it's decent depth, but it's not. Whereas McLaughlin and Hain weren't primary goal scorers. They scored a lot of points, but Mitchell Matson was their leader.
Yeah.
Bischoff was a leader. They
Alex Adams.
They still, there's no Alex Adams. There's no Bischoff. There's no Matson. This team is great goaltending, don't get me wrong, but they don't have a lot of depth on the blue line. They have 2 really good defensemen.
Stapahar and
Heitkamp are really good defensemen.
And then it goes downhill.
Then it goes down. I agree. I agree. I don't think that it's as deep.
Yeah.
But they looked really good in the summer tournament, and I think that this is a team that you got to really – again, they have all the intangibles to beat Elk River.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Carl, who's number 6?
The 6 is Holy Family.
So, Carl, you and our top 6 are identical, except we flip-flop one team in there. Other than that, so we agree.
I think Holy Family should be higher. And here's why. I know that they're going to score. I know that they have very, very good goaltending in both starter and backup, and their defensive core is going to be good. And I think they're going to be a hard team to beat right now.
I do too. I really do. It's the section final of all section finals. It lines up, and then we're just leaving out Minnetonka and Prior Lake, who are both really good teams. So it's scary what a great section that is. It reminds me of old Section 6 about 3 years ago. It used to be that way, like, oh my gosh, the semifinals and finals that were amazing.
Okay, who's number 7, Carl?
Number 7, St. Thomas Academy.
Yep.
This is just you watched my show, didn't you, Carl? You just you're doing what Let's Play Hockey does to my rank. They just take it and then they mix it up a little bit. I agree. Hard to argue with them at 7.
What makes them good, Carl?
There's no obvious weakness there. I mean, they've a couple good forwards, a couple good defensemen, returning goaltender. It's just good balance across the board. There's nothing that really jumps out, about them, but I think the junior class is going to start to really, show how good it is this year with Christie and Matsui, Foley. So
what
more to build around there.
What I'm most concerned as a cadet is 1, size, and 2, without Billy Jerry, there has to be leadership step up on this team, and so Billy Jerry was who they turned to last year, and before Billy Jerry it was Tommy Novak. So there needs to be somebody that they can turn to for the big goals, and so that would be my only concern with them. But across the board, this is a pretty solid team, I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay, number 8.
Number 8, I've been flip-flopping my 8 and 9 a little bit here, but I'm going to say Minnetonka.
Oh, we have it. I don't have them. I have them at 10. Keep going. I want to hear why.
Yeah.
Yeah, we turned a pretty good core from a team that, let's not forget, won the Lake Conference last year.
That's true.
And then also probably the best Bantam group coming up. Players like Bayless and Haynes jumping in, so.
Hard to argue that.
Very deep. Yeah.
Hard to argue with the talent in Minnetonka. Can they put it together? They're still pretty young. That's the sophomore and junior class. I think losing Picciano really hurts.
Yeah, but Ulrich is good at coaching these power classes, I want to say.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to see what kind of can happen with them. They get tested early with St. Thomas Academy, too.
That's Thanksgiving Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's hear it, Carl. Number 9 and 10. Round it off.
Number 9 is Edina.
Okay.
Okay, so for now, we are 9 for 9 in our top 9. I know you won't have number 10. What I had as my number 9, but let's hear it.
Yeah, my number 10 is Lakeville North.
Okay.
Hard to argue with that. They have lots of talent, good coaching staff. I think that's a good pick. I don't have them in my top 10. I mentioned them in my show as someone that you're going to have to keep an eye on. All those South Suburban teams, Burnsville, Lakeville North, Lakeville South, Prior Lake. They're all teams that are going to be really good, really solid teams, but not quite top 10-ish. And a lot of them will be in the state tournament. Lakeville North or South is going to be in the state tournament,
Yeah.
No question about it.
Prior Lake and Lakeville South would be 11 and 12, and I have to keep going. So.
Yeah, I got 9. I have Centennial at number 9. That's a good squad. They're my favorite to win Section 5.
Yeah.
Their junior class was the best team in the state. They were better than Grand Rapids and Edina when these kids were 9th graders. Their class, that's the senior class, is pretty deep. There's a lot of good hockey players playing for Centennial. They don't have a lot of flight risks, kids leaving. They're very loyal. These kids work out together. They travel together. This is a really good hockey team. They will sneak up on you. I'll just tell you right now. They won't sneak up on me, but they're going to sneak up on some of some of the pundits. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at them on paper, they're not, they don't have a ton of returning points. Didn't have a ton of people in the elite league, but there's just a lot of good balance there. But, definitely the best team in Section 5.
Yep. And I was just tipping my hat. You got to take someone from Section 5 because there's lots of good hockey played there. So.
Well, and I think Centennial is, or maybe they still are in Schwann's Cup Gold, right, Carl? They didn't lose 3, did they? I can't remember.
Yeah, they're still in gold.
Yeah. So you think about that. They're going to play the good teams, holiday time. So they're going to be tested throughout the season.
They always put together a decent schedule. They don't hide.
No, they don't.
They don't hide. So, all right, I'm going to go. I get to be the pundit here for Class A. Can we just skip number 1 and go right to number 2, or do I have to say the H word?
Did you have Legacy Christian as number 1?
Legacy Christian is not number 1. Not number 1. Okay, we're just going to bypass Hermantown. No offense. Let's just get right past Hermantown.
We'll talk about them.
We'll talk about at some point.
They're a very good team. Good job. Thank you.
All right, next is Delano is number 2. I saw them this summer. Brian Hallinan was the leading scorer, I believe, in the Elite League. If not, he was really close. Delano and obviously Ben Myers, that team gave, granted it's a summer scrimmage, but they gave Grand Rapids all they can handle.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And it's exciting to watch a team like Delano in a community that's had so much difficulty beating Breck. So I list them at number 2, and then of course, who's number 3? Breck. So, and then I'm going to skip, though, just for fun. I'm going to skip to number 7. I have Orono at number 7.
Oh, Perry.
So there's three teams in Section 2A that are in the top 7, and I think that's a real good team. Their Bantams have won the Class A Bantam title the last 2 years, so they're 10th graders and 11th graders. That team will be good, much like Minnetonka. This year isn't their year. Next year, for sure, for Orono is their year. And many of the great players on those Orono Bantam teams are not fleeing to the Brecks, Blakes, and Benills, which is really good. So I think this Orono group is going to have a good run here in the next couple of years. And their Bantams this year I have ranked number 1 in the state. So they have a really good class of 3 or 4 years here. So, all right, skipping past 3, we talked about SPA earlier. I think that I have them at 4 with the addition of Don Picciano. Number 5, despite losing Keegan Karki, I have St. Cloud Cathedral as number 5. I think they're really, really deep. They brought in a lot of young talent from all over the area, not just kids from St. Cloud. kids from Princeton, kids from St. Michael. And they have lots of kids that are coming into that program that are young but talented.
And they're not going up against Apollo this season.
No, and Apollo's done, and the St. Cloud Hockey Club is now AA.
Yeah.
That should have been an off-season thing we talked about, too. It's
yeah,
important. We'll bring them up. I'm sure that's going to be a team.
Yeah.
AA is going to give troubles to teams in 8 AA. So, quickly to number 6, I have Matamidi. I talked about that on my show. That's a young club, but they're going to have lots of talent.
Matamidi is always a good sports high school.
Yes.
I know that from my days in the classic suburban. They're just very good.
Yeah, lots of depth, they have the right demographics for sports.
Yeah,
they really
it's
do.
really
they just
weird.
really do. The right demographics. Okay, 7 was Orono. 8 here might be a surprise. A team we haven't talked about in Class A for a few years, Alexandria. This is another group that has a ton of talent. I mean, really, really good talent coming up through their youth programs. They've been in state, semifinals. They have 2 or 3 really good sophomores. This team is going to be really good this year. How do I know that? I ran into some kids from Cathedral, and they go, "Oh my gosh, Alexander is going to be awesome!" Like, thank you for that tip. They weren't on my radar for a year or two. Then I started looking through the roster. I'm like, yeah, Alex is going to be good this year. So thank you for the boys from Cathedral. Let me know that one. And then number 9, you got to keep an eye on East Grand Forks. Always 8 AA, 8A. They're going to be really good this year. Lots of good talent. And then finally 10 Greenway. It's kind of the sacrificial lamb in 7A this year. They'll be good, but they just won't be able to get past Hermantown.
Yeah.
So that rounds out my top 10. We talked about a little bit off the air that you thought Greenway was going to be good, and I think you're right. That's a top 10 team.
Yeah, they have pretty good talent. And if you look at points returning, they do have points returning on their team. Lots of points returning. And you don't want to go play in the snake pit, so that's the other thing.
No, there's a lot of privates going up there. You said Breck's going up there. I know that SPA is going up there. So
yeah,
and I know that Greenway plays at Rapids this year, and that's one of their biggest home games for Rapids this year. They're very excited about that game. That crosstown rivalry should be huge. So, what's next on the agenda, Danny?
Well, let's talk about some dark horses that we didn't really cover in the top 10. Who do you think is going to bust in? I'll talk about mine first. I want to say Lakeville South.
You stole mine, but I got another one. Well, we talked about them earlier. I think Prior Lake is super deep.
Yeah.
They have a great sophomore goaltender. If he can act like a senior goaltender, Prior Lake could win Section 2AA.
I think that Lakeville South will win Section 1
AA.
I think they're that good, and I like their coach. My brother played for Coach AJ, so I think they'll have good things. Carl, what about you?
I'm going to go to 8AA for my dark horse. St. Michael Albertville.
Oh.
Ooh, I like that.
They recruit a very nice, top line, good core, and you look at that section right now. The Mickey's still good, but they're not going to be as deep as they were last couple of years. Moorhead's going to be good next year for sure, but they're still going to be young. I think there's an opening there for someone to jump in.
I like that. I like Brainerd as well. Brainerd has some great youth programs in this class of 17 and 18. Especially their 18 class is a really top end team. That section is going to be really fun. Not as deep and not as talented as, say, 2AA, but 8AA is going to have some really good games and some good section play play games.
That section, but there really isn't a bad team in there. I mean, they're all decent.
And St. Cloud.
Yeah.
St. Cloud's going to be good. Roseau's going to be good. Yeah, that's a good section.
Okay, talking about maybe some out-of-town games or stuff like that, what's one game that you're looking forward to this year, Tony?
I'm broadcasting a game, and that's probably the best game of the year, the best night of the year. You got Hermantown travels to Wayzata, which will be on some kind of public access. We're going to broadcast the Grand Rapids Minnetonka game over at Pagel. That's the same night. 4 great teams.
On a Friday.
On a Friday night. It's going to be great. So I'm going to mark down Grand Rapids. We're going to get our first sight of Grand Rapids this year. And the team that I think is a top 10 quality team, Minnetonka. So 2 teams battling it in a packed house. The Grand Rapids people will travel down to the cities for a Friday night game. So it's going to be that's the game I'm looking for to get the season kicked off.
I'm looking forward to Breck versus Greenway. Here's why. It's a private northern battle. It's up in Greenway. I've been to Coleraine once to their rink. That was probably one of the coolest rinks I've ever been a part of. And this is a Friday or Saturday night, and so you know it's going to be sold out. I think I might travel up there just to see the atmosphere, and it might be more than worth it, too.
So the Snake Pit, Hodgins Burrard Arena, it's one of the coolest rinks. I've played in that rink myself. One of the takeaways, they had this siren that was right behind our bench. It was the first time I was a sophomore there. First goal Greenway scored, the siren goes off, and I thought I'd die of a heart attack. It's so loud. It was this green siren, and the PA announcer screams out, "Greenway, go!" And I was like, oh my gosh, welcome to the Iron Range. I was like, baptism by fire. But it's an amazing atmosphere. It's one of the funnest places I've ever played, and to win. My team actually won one year there. I was like, this was amazing. We won here. It was like us against the world kind of thing. It was a pretty cool place to play.
Carl, what about you?
Okay, so I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to do an entire week instead of just one game.
Oh, wow. Here we go. You always got to be unique, don't you, Carl?
January. Yeah. So the week between January 9th and 14th, so 6 days, there are 5 games in the Duluth area. So on Monday, you have Duluth East, Duluth Denfeld, which is, of course, good crosstown rivalry. So we'll there with the right for that one.
I can't believe you just listed that.
Yeah.
You just went down in my rankings right there.
How is that supposed to be a good game?
How is that special? All right, keep going.
It's fun beating up on Denfeld. But on Tuesday is Grand Rapids Hermantown in Hermantown.
Yeah.
That could be great. Thursday, East Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
This is a rematch from last year's section final.
Who won that one?
Who won?
We're skipping that part.
Okay.
Friday night, you've got Eden Prairie coming up, and then Eden Prairie's going to play croquet on Friday, and then East on Saturday.
You might see me that weekend, I would guess, up in Duluth.
Yeah.
That's some good hockey.
Yeah.
That was a good week.
Okay, moving on. This year's Mr. Hockey Award winner will be Casey Middlestead.
Yep.
I don't think we're speaking too unfair when we say that. But Casey returns with 22 goals and 37 assists with 59 points last year. Casey is the class of the class of high school hockey right now. Go and watch him play for Eden Prairie. This kid is...
I've got a question for you guys. So Casey Middlestead is the best player in high school hockey since blank.
Colorado.
Yeah.
I hate to say it 'cause it's the same school. I'm saying Colorado.
Because of the electricity that he brings to the ice.
Yeah.
Do you have a different answer? I think about that all the time, and I keep coming back to Rao.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, just the emotion that he brings to the ice, is the same that Kyle used to bring as well. And, whenever Kyle would have the puck on his stick, you knew something cool was going to happen, and that's kind of what Casey brings.
I know this is kind of a stretch, but if we had to go back further, let's say Kyle Rao wasn't in the equation. It wasn't something. I'd say Aaron Ness. He was that guy.
Yeah.
Aaron Ness, when he had the puck on his stick, I was like, what's he going to do now? He was amazing to watch.
Aaron and Scott Perunovich reminded me of the
They were
same.
a lot alike.
They were a lot alike in that dancingness of a...
Too bad Perunovich didn't get to play with all the kids that Ness got to play with.
Yeah, Ness.
It's not even close. No offense to the people in Hibbing.
But
Roseau had some amazing teams.
Yes. Okay, so if Casey's my Mr. Hockey Award winner, there's 9 other candidates that need to be up there. So I'm going to read off the list, and then you guys can go back and forth at me, okay?
And see if you leave anybody off. I got a couple, sneaky ones that you might not have.
My 10th one, I'll admit, was kind of hard.
That's fine.
Okay, Noah Cates.
You agree? No doubt.
Stillwater, 20 goals last year, 34 assists, 54 points. He'll have more this year.
He's a legend.
He's very good. We're on agreement with that. Yep. Lakeville North's Henry Ennebeck.
Agree.
17 goals, 28 assists, 45 points. Where's Ennebeck going again?
St. Cloud State.
St. Cloud. So Noah Cates is going to Michigan Tech, right? No,
UMD.
UMD.
His brother's at Michigan
going to
Tech.
Yep, and
You get half credit for that.
Yeah, thank you. And then Annabek's going to St. Cloud. So these are, D1 commitments. I'm giving you some good names here.
These are easy.
Okay, Max
yes.
Michaelis,
Max Michaelis.
for Elk River. We keep talking about how good Elk River is.
Well, I thought you were going to say Matt Anderson, but keep going. I was like,
He's later. Okay.
All right.
Max Michaelis returns with 24 goals, 20 assists, 44 points. He's going to lead Elk River again with Zerbin, and so I think we're going to see.
You're fitting Jax Murray.
Oh, and Jax Murray, I totally forgot because of his injury last year. But this is a dark horse one.
No, Jax Murray needs to be in your top 10.
I forgot about Jax because he was.
He didn't play much last year, right?
Yes.
And even when he played, he was maybe not quite at the level he was, but I think he's going to be the comeback player of the year. I think he's Mr. Hockey finalist.
I think for sure he will be.
Yeah, healthy and everything like that.
He's healthy.
Yep. Okay. This one you guys are going to debate. Brady Tatro, sorry, for Bemidji. Here's why. He's led Bemidji to state the last 2 years. Last year at 14 goals, 24 assists, 38 points. Pretty good player. He's been a leader on their team. I like this idea with him.
I think Alex Pollock is a better player than he is. Has a better chance. They're like, okay, I say 51-49. Like flip a coin on who is good. So if you're going to name Brady, you got to name Alex too. I think they're both right in there and could be there in the top 10.
I'm trying to give some love to Section 8.
I love it. Yep. I like it.
Carl, you don't have any objections other than that Tony objection on that one? No. Okay. This one, we're both should all be in agreement. Matt Anderson.
Keep going. Not even doubt. He's the best defenseman in the state.
So just to recap on his points, he had 9 goals last year, 26 assists, 35 points. I don't see why he doesn't get 45 points this year easily.
They got a tougher schedule this year.
They still play that, Cupcake
Wright County?
Conference?
Hey, Delano's in the right county and Orono's in the right county.
Don't give them credit.
That's tough games.
Okay. And Matt Anderson has been a commit to the Bulldogs for about 5 years now.
It's third grade, I think.
Yeah. So, and then I'm going to throw in Nicky Lieberman for Eden Prairie. 10 goals last year, 22 assists. He really was a spark plug of their team offensively late in the season last year.
Yeah.
He's going to Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. I like this kid a lot. And he's got to be the best defenseman for Eden Prairie. So if he plays well, Eden Prairie will continue to be number 1 in my book.
Okay, agree.
Then I'm going to throw in Micah Miller for Grand Rapids.
I like that one a lot.
St. Cloud State commit, 15 goals, 16 assists, 31 points. He was a spark plug in the tournament, even though that goal that didn't count. His speed is all over the ice, and he's going to be helping Hayden and McLaughlin out a lot.
Why you always got to bring up like controversy, Dan? Can you just talk about
I'm a provoker. I'm an instigator.
Poking bear all the time. All right.
Okay, and then this one, for number 9, I will move over to Class A and throw some love over to Hermantown with Ryan Sandelin, 24 goals, 20 assists. Mankato.
Again, I think Dylan Sandberg is the guy from. If someone's going to get a nod, it's going to be Dylan.
I think they both will be.
They could both. I agree.
Yeah,
they could both.
They could definitely be both.
Again, there can only be 10. So you got Pollock and Tatro.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
So you can only take so many. And I agree. I think Ryan's great. I think they're both great, but I think Dylan is the man. I mean, he's the straw that stirs the drink.
Name recognition.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I get where you're going with the name recognition, but I think Dylan is the man.
Yep. And then this is the wild card on this one. This depends if Stillwater plays well, but I put Jesse Bukestad on there.
I like that one too.
Jesse
I really like that.
4 goals, 18 assists, 22 points. He is definitely the point guy on their power play. He's a presence on the ice when you watch him play, and I think if Stillwater has a great season, this is a kid that we're going to be looking at.
So here's a kid that we don't know that well from Stillwater, but he's just got unbelievable physical skills, scores a lot of points. He might jump out at you is Matt Stanton.
Okay.
He's one of those kids, big, rangy kid, great hands. He can really, he can turn the worm, if you know what I'm saying. So that's another kid that might have a breakout season this year.
Carl, who did I miss?
Lists are pretty similar. How about Ben Myers and Delano?
That's another one. That's an obvious one. He was at the summer thing, and again, they played like Wayzata. I mean, they played good teams. It's not like they played in some lower silver bracket over at Braemar last summer. They played the real teams. They had only some of their games. They had 12 or 13 skaters, so it wasn't like they were like, they had everybody. He was clearly, except for Casey, to me the best player in that tournament. All 5 games. That was the kid that stood out the most. I think Ben Myers is the guy. He's a for sure finalist for Mr. Hockey this year.
I haven't seen him play yet. I will see him play.
You didn't see him over at Braemar that time? You're probably just walking around following Casey around the whole time, weren't
probably
you?
Took a nap or something.
Yeah. So, no, he was good. He was outstanding.
Is there anybody else that...
Brian Hallinan, if we're not in pairs, I mean, Brian Hallinan is leading scorer in the Elite League. That tells you that, he could also have a big year points-wise, especially in the vaunted Wright County Conference. Did you ever think that we would be hosting a show and, pumping up how great the Wright County Conference is going to be this year?
Litchfield, Dassel, Cokato Dragons are in that. Okay,
I know.
Tony.
They were in the state tournament last year.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Carl, anybody else that I've neglected to mention?
Yeah, I think we agree on basically everyone else. So.
Okay.
Yeah, hard to argue with that list. Very well thought out. Thank you very much.
Okay, well,
Danny?
Talking about those are the seniors. Let's talk about the freshmen/sophomores that are coming in. Tony, you know more about this than we do.
My sweet spot. That's my sweet spot.
As the youth hockey hub, I am. You are Tony Scott.
Well, speaking of Delano, Garrett Pianimi, a St. Cloud State commit freshman. He will be. He'll light up the scoreboard this year. Great speed, great explosion, good hands. Great shot. He's a complete player. He will make a difference on Delano's varsity as a 9th grader. Bobby Brink, Andy Brink's son. Andy played for the Gophers. Yeah. Bobby Brink is bypassing his Bantam season, his final year of Bantams, to play for Minnetonka. He's arguably the best player in that age group. If it's not Garrett or Bobby, it's going to be a kid from Cretin-Durham Hall named Matthew Gleason. Gleason was our Pee Wee Player of the Year 2 years ago. Probably one of the best players in our Bantam Elite League last summer. All 3 of those kids were outstanding players. Those are kids that are going to make impacts right away as 9th graders.
What about this Minnetonka team that we keep talking about?
Jack Bayless will be a top 6 kid for Minnetonka for sure this year. Clay Hannes, who committed to the Gophers, he's actually a 9th grader, but he's out of Bantam eligibility. He's a June birthday.
Yeah.
He's not leaving Bantams. He can't play Bantams. He's off by a few days. He's a 9th grader. He'll be a top 4. He could run the power play. He's so talented on the blue line for Minnetonka. He's a special player. Here's a name for you. Here's a team that we haven't even brought up. It's not even on our radar, is Chaska High School.
Oh, yeah.
So Chaska will have a barrel of 9th and 10th graders this year. They won't compete in that. They might not even be a 5 seed because I think Chanhassen has more age and more depth than Chaska does. But Chaska will have some unbelievable talent. Mike Kester, he's a Gopher commit this summer. He's a 10th grader.
Might be like the first Chaska commit.
Yeah, it won't be the last. Rem Pitlick's little brother, Rhett Pitlick, who played his youth hockey in Wayzata, he's now at Chaska playing for Coach Snuggerud. And then there's a kid who played in our Bantam Elite League, who is the MVP of our Bantam Elite League. He's a 9th grader. Shane Lavelle is his name. These are all 9th graders. This team, they're putting together, the group of 9th and 10th graders there are as good or better than any group in the state. Better, and I say that even more so than Minnetonka.
Well, and they're a Section 2 team.
Yeah. So think about it. In 2 years.
They could be a wild card this year, sort of.
Yeah, they could be a wild card because you don't know. We have no idea because they have no idea what they have or how good or how mature they are. They have a great goaltender. Another kid who played in our Bantam Elite League, Justin Bach, he'll be their goaltender. They're super young. We'll see how Snuggy can put together what he can put together with this group of kids, but it'll be a different Chaska team this year than it has been in the past 4 or 5 years.
Well, I think you could go farther back than 4 or 5.
45 years, maybe.
yeah, there you go.
All right, so that's kind of that. That's just kind of a quick run on what to expect from the 9th and 10th graders.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up today with some bold predictions. Okay. Carl, you want me to go first?
I can go.
Okay.
That's pretty bold.
Okay.
Well, let's going to lose in section.
Eden Prairie will not win their section. Is that what you just said?
Yep, they're going to lose in sections. I'm not sure who's going to do it, but they're going to lose.
So let me see if I got this right. You have Eden Prairie as the number 1 team in the state, but you have them losing in sections.
Yep.
That is, I don't know if that's bold or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm out. Can I tap out of this because that is so bold.
I'll give you. I'll give you one, Tony. I will say that there will be no private schools in the tournament. And then
Okay. Whoa. Whoa. That means St. Thomas Academy is not going.
As I see
Burnsville, Jefferson,
I see
Eastview. Who's gonna win Section 3?
Cottage Grove. I don't know.
I don't even think they're in that section. Are they?
They might be.
I'm not sure. They're in 3 or 4. I'm not even know. Okay, why did we get to Cottage Grove? Okay, you guys are like. I thought you were like. This is like bold, underlined, flash / italics. This is crazy bold.
Okay, fine. Then I don't think the Class 2A champion last year of Wayzata will make it back to the tournament this year.
Well, that's not very bold since Edina's there. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
That's
give me
going on
something
limb
bold,
there.
Tony.
Carl's is bold, saying Eden Prairie's not going.
Okay.
Like I guess I'm the bold police then, right?
Yeah. If you're the bold police.
I don't really even have a bold prediction. I can't really come up with one that can compare to those. Although I will say this, that was the one that keeps coming back to me. What would be a bold prediction? Would be picking against Eden Prairie in the sections.
Yeah.
You know, that would be the one. That would be the one that stands out to me the most. That is the boldest one.
Okay, well, at that, we'll keep you hanging. We'll touch base before the season starts with a preview of the first week's games, which are loaded.
Yeah, they are. There's some really good hockey.
The Turkey Trot this year is going to be really, really good between Wayzata, Edina.
How about Holy Family and Edina? That'll be any fun, wouldn't
it? And Holy Family has never beat Edina in that game.
I think it could happen. It's going to be heated, that's for sure.
Okay, let's digress and sign off and keep them hanging on that. Okay,
yeah,
so this has been the Youth Hockey Hub's High School Hockey Podcast. Thanks for listening.
Last night my kid tore up his league. He had a hat trick right up his sleeve. Coach said he's never seen that. Gemini Athletics gonna have to stitch the C patch. I've got Ferraris, Maseratis, drive all over the place. I drink martinis, never seen these looks all over their face.